I'm a new teacher of online creative courses. My first course, How to Start a Nature Journal, is loading up on my Patreon now. Up until only a few weeks ago, Skillshare was part of my business plan and my goals. I was always planning to upload to Patreon and Skillshare, but that changed recently. In this video, I'm going to explain why I'm no longer bothering with Skillshare, what I'm going to do instead as a teacher, and why I think there's better places to learn as a student too. Now, some of you might know that up until really recently, Skillshare was a really attractive platform for new creators and teachers. Basically, you could start earning money right away from the minutes of time that students had actually spent watching your courses. And that's from the minute you join the platform and first upload your class. Let's compare that to something like YouTube, where you've got quite a big barrier to entry before you actually start making any money. You've got to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. And this is quite hard for a beginner creator. Like, this channel isn't even monetized yet, and I've been doing this for well over a year now. So this had been going on for a while. Skillshare was paying teachers pretty fairly, and it was all going kind of great. And so many YouTubers and teachers were recommending the platform for newer teachers to join, and also, building their own audiences through that platform through a referral system that paid out pretty fairly for each referral to their platform. But some of you may know that recently the teacher payout system changed completely on Skillshare. It's no longer an attractive platform for new teachers because we've got people who are established on the platform suddenly making videos explaining that they've had their payout slashed by 60%. Also, the referral scheme has changed massively, with teachers now being paid a percentage, 60%, I believe, of the initial payment of a new student through their referral link, whereas previously you just got paid a flat amount every time someone signed up to Skillshare through your link. But the main issue really is the enormous reduction in the pool of money that they're setting aside to pay teachers on the platform. And that is what has led to this enormous drops in established teachers' pay on Skillshare. The issue with this for new teachers is that because the pool is so small and your amount of watch time as you are growing on the platform is also going to be really small, new teachers can't really expect to earn very much in their first few months on the platform. And it's going to be harder work to trying to recruit new students onto that particular platform. And I think that the incentive to do that has reduced massively. I mean, why would you want to pull students onto a platform that isn't paying you very much? You're essentially doing Skillshare's marketing for them and not getting much of a return. Now, if you're an artist or a creative or a content creator and you're trying to build and monetize an audience, I don't see why you'd want to put all of that effort into sending your students off to Skillshare when you could actually try to keep them in your own areas where you're actually earning a decent amount of money through the presence of your audience. And the thing is that audiences do want to support you as a creator, but they don't always know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. The main thing that really turned me off of Skillshare is that if you are signing people up onto a free trial, so 30 days or 14 days free trial, Skillshare doesn't actually pay out anything to you for the minutes watched or the time that that student has spent on the Skillshare platform. So for a new teacher who wants to establish students, what you're essentially giving them is a free trial of the entirety of your content, and you don't get anything for that, like nothing. And I find this a real problem because it is essentially giving your content away for free, which you could do via YouTube. The issue with having a system where you are only giving creators money when a student signs up is that for a new creator who doesn't have a lot of courses on there, students are very likely to sign up because they like your content as a creator. They will watch everything that is on there that you've done because they really like you and they think that they're supporting you by doing so. And then they will leave the platform before they have to pay a monthly or annual subscription. And if the platform's not actually giving you any money for the time that that student has spent there, you are essentially giving your content away for free. So I just want to reiterate really that if you're a artist or a course creator or a content creator and you want to support your audience, I think you are better doing that by building a mailing list, by building your own online platform, and perhaps using a service such as Patreon. Making online courses is an enormous amount of work. It really is. You've got to spend hours scripting and then filming and then editing your content, putting it into a format that is suitable for the learner, and then getting that online, and most importantly, marketing it to your audience. And this last step can't be understated, and it is a really hard slog to do. As I said before, I really don't see why you'd want to send all your audience over to Skillshare when you could actually just be bringing them into your own platform and community. I think my final point on that is essentially what we're doing when we are referring people to Skillshare now is we are monetizing our audience and sending that money into Skillshare's pockets rather than our own as artists and creators. I think that now the only person who's getting a bum deal out of what I'm doing is people who were already on Skillshare, already paying a membership and wanting to see my content come up on there for the money that they're already paying. And to those people, I can only apologize. I just can't see myself putting my content on Skillshare now or in the future. Not unless they do something very drastic and go back to a previous payment model. So what am I going to do instead of Skillshare? My original business plan was that I was going to create some online courses and I was going to upload them onto Patreon and upload them onto Skillshare. And anyone who doesn't see them through my Patreon would see them on Skillshare. So there would be two avenues to receiving my online course content. Now, as I said before, my course is currently loading onto Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing my online course content, you can go to the link in the description below and just check it out. There's a free post up on there where you can see what's on the course syllabus, and there's links to all the individual videos there as well. But you will have to sign up to my Patreon if you want to see the course content itself. So Patreon, why did I choose Patreon? I've been on Patreon for a couple of years now, and it is actually a great platform for artists and creators. It really supports you to have a community built on there. It gives you decent infrastructure for uploading your courses, your videos, tutorials. What else do I share on there? I share videos of my Instagram lives and polls and my journals and pictures of my art. So it's got, a lot on there to help creators to build this membership. And for all of this, at the moment, Patreon is charging an 8% commission on everything. And I think that goes up to 11% if you want to do merch. And at the moment, the videos are hosted on Patreon, but I think at some point they're going to probably start charging for the video hosting. That's the impression I got from reading their emails and blogs and so on. So at the moment, if you're on Patreon, you're getting a pretty good deal because you're getting all of your video hosting. Initially, I used to go on Vimeo and I'd pay, I think it was 60 or 90, something like that, pounds per year for the video hosting. But Patreon have recently brought all of their video hosting onto the platform, and it's so easy to use and so much better. You don't have to mess around with linking between Vimeo and YouTube and Patreon. So all of that is currently included. With Patreon, I think you can do free trials. I don't do free trials, but I do have some free public posts. And I kind of think that anything I want to do for free, I'm going to do here on YouTube because it's free to the point of delivery. And at some point, I will be able to monetize my content and we'll start making a bit of money out of that, in the future. I really think that the tried and tested combination of YouTube and Patreon works really well. It's working really well for me so far. I think it delivers the best value to prospective students of the course. And they actually will know that when they sign up for your content, that they're actually helping you as a teacher, as an artist and a creator as well. So I said before that I was going to use two platforms, and I always kind of plan to have two platforms for my content. Maybe someone doesn't like Patreon for whatever reason and they would rather see my content somewhere else. I decided to use the Thinkific platform, which integrates with my websites. So I'm paying, I think it is $39 a month, and that is for everything. That's for the platform itself. It's for the custom domain name, which can link into my website. It's for the community that's going to be formed on my Thinkific, which means that it's going to be a part of my website. it allows me to then sell my courses as a one-off block for students to buy, paying a one-off amount for access to the course for a lifetime. If you're interested in Thinkific and you want me to do kind of a review on how I'm doing and how it's working out for me sometime in the future, maybe a few months or a year down the line, just leave me a comment and I'll put something like that up on YouTube in the future. Now, in this final part of the video, I just want to talk a little bit about why I'm not going to be taking out my own Skillshare subscription after my free trial ends, and how I think that this teacher pay dispute is actually going to pan out on Skillshare and what that's going to mean for students currently or prospectively on the platform. I really think that because they're not incentivizing teachers to upload so much anymore by not paying them fairly, there's going to be a decrease in the amount of quality content on the platform and prospectively coming onto the platform in the future. So many of the teachers that I really love and respect are either considering or have taken down content from Skillshare, and so many of them are not really going to put more courses up in future and are looking for alternative platforms to host their content. And that's really going to affect the experience on Skillshare for students. If no new teachers are signing up to the platform, or established teachers are only leaving old content up there, then what we're going to end up with on the platform is mainly stale and outdated and sort of trial content, really. People who aren't that invested, just using it to have a little go at making online courses. And because they're not really invested, the quality of those online courses is really likely to go down. And so the student experience on Skillshare is going to diminish over time. I'm just ending my own free trial on Skillshare, and I've gone on there mainly because I wanted to actually learn how to improve my videos for YouTube. So I was on there as a student myself. So although I did go and look at other artists to see what kind of content was on there, I was really on there to look at video editing tutorials and things like that. And I did find some decent quality content on there. And I actually felt a little bit uncomfortable after doing the research and knowing that the creators whose courses I was watching weren't receiving a penny because I was on a free trial. And I found that kind of a little bit uncomfortable. They think that they're behind a paywall when actually, you know, they're giving their content away for free to anyone who's having their free trial on the platform. But anyway, despite all of that, I watched a few tutorials on audio in DaVinci Resolve, which is the platform that I use to edit my videos for YouTube and for Patreon and everywhere else. And there was some decent content on there. But I'll tell you what, I found better content from really, really good teachers and creators on YouTube for free. And some of that I can honestly say was a lot better than the videos that I was watching on the Skillshare platform. So I do sort of believe that for students, certainly in some fields, you can actually have a better experience on YouTube looking for content to help you learn something than you would on Skillshare anyway, because I kind of just had a feeling that Skillshare was really an expensive version of YouTube. And it's an expensive version that is not paying its teachers fairly. So if you want to wade in on this debate, you've got anything that you want to say about Skillshare, maybe you really like the platform and you think I'm missing something, just leave me a comment down below and I'll kind of join the debate and let's hear about it. Let's hear about what you've got to say about the Skillshare platform. If you're a nature lover or a creative person and you want to go and check out my online course, How to Start a Nature Journal, that's on my Patreon. The link's in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.